Here are a few instances where church and state unions resulted in atrocities. The union of church and state in Geneva made it a theocracy. It was a marriage between John Calvin's theology and his control of the state. This meant that offences against the church were offences against the state and vice versa, and deserved punishment by fines, imprisonment, exile, and death. For example, attendance at public worship was compulsory and strictly monitored. In the 1540s and 1550s, there were 58 judgments of death, 76 decrees of banishment passed, with 414 offences punished for religious purposes. Calvin instituted a theocracy based on arguments exclusively taken from the Old Testament. The Calvinistic, as well as the papal theocracy, was legalistic rather than evangelical. The cruelest of those laws against witchcraft, heresy, and blasphemy were inherited from the Catholic Middle Ages. In 1620, the Puritans came to America. Some wanted to improve their church experience, as the English king and the Anglican Church had persecuted them. The Puritans remained loyal to the Anglican Church and to England, wanting to purify the church. They were Calvinists and believed a theology of divine sovereignty rather than divine love. They wanted to establish a theocracy and brought the doctrine of persecution with them, and they persecuted other religions. Puritanism was ruthless in inflicting its will upon dissenters and those whom it judged sinners. For example, the Massachusetts Bay Colony organized like a new state with one religion, Anglican. In the 1650s, Puritans executed 3 Quakers. In 1692, the colonists hanged 19 persons for practicing witchcraft. Membership in the church was required for citizenship in Massachusetts. A law passed in 1644 forbade the existence of a Baptist church in Massachusetts. They tried to build the kingdom of God through political means. The failure of these movements was due to mixing 2 kingdoms, human and divine. They were repeating what had failed at the time of Christ. Many of the religious leaders, and even his disciples, were looking for a political deliverer to break the grip of Roman rule. They wanted a Messiah who would give them heaven on earth, end their oppression, and put them in charge, but Jesus would have none of it.
His kingdom, he said, is not of this world.
There is a distinction between using the state to push one's religious agenda and allowing religious values to inform politicians in making decisions for the good of all citizens. The first method overrides the religious freedom of those whose beliefs differ from those held by the state-enforced religious ideas. The second method takes into consideration the broader context, beyond the merely secular, for addressing moral issues like abortion, etc.